Hi, my name is Alicia Ross, and I am here today to talk to you about the book When You Reach Me by Rebecca Stead. This book is about a young girl named Miranda. She is writing this book to someone we do not know who until the end, and she speaks to you as if you are the person. In the beginning, her mother has just gotten a letter, and she has won a contest to be in a show called $20,000 Pyramid, where she will win $20,000 if she is the last contestant. Miranda has a best friend named Sal. They do everything together. They walk to school together. They walk home from school together, and they play together 24/7. They have no other friends. Until one day, they're walking home from school, and Sal gets punched in the face by a young man named Marcus. Sal starts to bleed and runs straight home. And ever since that day, Sal never talked to Miranda ever again. She didn't know if it was because he felt it was her fault. She did not know what was going on. On her travels to and from school, it was the same routine every day. They passed the kids on the corner, passed Sal playing basketball, and most of all, passed the laughing man who would sit on the side of the street every single day and laugh right beside his mailbox. Miranda didn't have Sal anymore, so she made two friends named Colin and Anna Marie. The three of them decided, since they had an hour of lunch, that it would be a good idea for them to go get a job during that time so they could make some extra cash. They decided to go to Johnny's sandwich shop, where they would cut bread and count rolls of bread every day for an hour, not getting paid that much. Actually, in repayment, he would just give them free sandwiches every day that they could take back to school and eat, which kind of caused a problem in school, but you can read more about that. One day, Miranda was on her way home, and she, of course, passed the laughing man just as always. He was screaming at her, laughing, looking under his mailbox. She had no idea why. Nobody did. She got to her house, and her door was unlocked. The key wasn't in the hiding place where it always was, behind the fire extinguisher. She was scared to walk in, but she did. There was nothing missing, nothing different. Farther in the book, you'll find that there was a shoe missing, but that comes later, and I don't want to tell you all about that. But she couldn't find the missing key, so she looked around the room, and she found a note. The note simply said, "This is hard, harder than I expected. Even with your help, but I have been practicing and my preparations go well. I am coming to save your friend's life and my own. I ask two favors. First, you write me a letter. Second, please remember to mention the location of your house key. The trip is a difficult one. I will not be myself when I reach you." Miranda read this, and she was very, very creeped out. It was in this kind of note form, but it was crumpled up all under her book. She hurried up and put it back, and when her mom got home, she told her mom all about it. Her mom said not to worry about it, there was nothing missing, and to let things go. As time went, Anna Marie, Colin, and Miranda hung out every day. They worked together every day, and one day they went to work, and Miranda's bread count was off. It was 2 breads off. They thought that was weird, but they went back to school as if nothing would happen. When Miranda was counting the bags, she didn't tell anybody, but she had found another note. This note stated, "Your letter must tell a story, a true story. You cannot begin now, as most of it has not taken place, and even afterwards there is no hurry. But do not wait so long that your memory fades. I require as much details as you provide. The trip is a difficult one, and I must ask my favors while my mind is sound. I know if you have shared my first note, I ask you not to share the others." Miranda was really freaked out by this. They knew that she had shared the note with her mother, and most of all, they even mentioned her name at the beginning of the note. She slipped it back into her pocket, took it home, and buried it with her last letter. As time went by, Miranda actually had read 2 more letters in the story, both leading up to what she didn't understand about saving her friend. She did not know what was going to happen. Every single day, she'd pass the laughing man. The story was very repetitious. And then one day, her and her 2 friends went to work, and Johnny would not let them in. He told them that they were fired because his piggy bank full of $2 bills was missing. They wrote him a note explaining that they did not do it, shoved it under the door, and he read it. He finally let them come back to work. Days later, it was time for Miranda's mom to go to her show. She took her, Anna Marie, Colin, a neighbor, and Sal. We find out why. Because days before, Sal was playing basketball on the street, and Marcus came up to him to apologize. Sal saw him and ran. Marcus ran after him. He said, "Hey, stop." Finally, the laughing man saw this and began to chase after them too, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. All of a sudden, they began to cross the street, and a car came flying down the road. I leave you with that. Does one of them get hit? Does Sal and Miranda become friends again? Does Miranda's mom win the money? Who is the laughing man, and do the notes ever stop? And what do they mean? Thank you for listening to my story. I hope you've decided to go get the book and read it. It is very fun. I couldn't put it down. And the ending is a very big surprise.